YouTube. My name is Stacy. I'm known here as Flighty Rambler, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel today. And hello friends, it's nice to be with you again. I'm happy to be continuing this Crafty Hope Prompts series. This is an open collaboration hosted by Hope over at Crafty Hope. She has an amazing channel filled with a lot of goodies. I highly suggest you go over to her channel and give her some love. I'll have links to all of her information in the description box below. Hope has been working on her collaboration for a number of weeks. For me, I'm going to jump back in at week 18. She's pulled 3 prompts as usual. The first is alcohol spray, then a hand carved stamp, and pattern. These are for week 18, and let's see what I can do. Hope is working on a regular size deck of cards. I'm working on these jumbo playing cards, so I'm just gonna pull one, and it's the 4 of spades. So yeah, fun size, a little bigger than the regular size deck of cards. Now for the first prompt, it's alcohol spray. I don't have alcohol spray. Hope did mention in her video that she has created her own alcohol sprays, which sounds fantastic. I created my own spray many years ago when I was first starting out in mixed media because I wanted to experiment with spraying. I used acrylic ink and water, and it was a long time ago, so there is some sediment on the bottom, but I'm just working it. And I've used pretty much at least half of these in older projects. I loved the vibrancy of the pink. I've got blue. The yellow's just about gone. The green has a good amount, and here's the red and the orange. And I used just like a body spray that I didn't like. I don't usually like these kind of scents, but I wanted a set of bottles that were similar. So when I created my project, I picked up the bottles at the dollar store and then repurposed them. So that's alcohol spray. The other option I have is these Dilutions ink sprays. And this, because these are acrylic paint, they will stay. They won't react when I add another layer on top. These ones are notorious for staining your fingers and then reacting again with wet media on top. So you do need to put down a layer of glue or gloss spray or a fixative to make sure that this stuff doesn't move. And I also have this black color shine from Heidi Swap. I might use that as my spray. I have some options here for that. So next, hand carved stamps. I have a selection of these. I've made them myself out of craft foam. We've got this circle, this crazy circle, a pattern with dots, bars, a chevron, and then a speckled one. I loved creating these. These were so much fun and so easy to do with just craft foam. Hope on her channel has created stamps using erasers, and she has quite a collection of those. So however she said, however we wanted to fulfill that, we could use anything here. And the last one is a pattern, which, you know, these are patterns. If you repeat these are patterns. I was also thinking of stencils and the spray, like spraying through stencils. And I've chosen a couple of ones here. You might not be able to see that. I'll move this away. So here's one with a star. I like the star stencil, but I was really drawn to my botanical stencils. So I also have this one. That might be fun. That one, very linear. And this one is very similar to this one, but this one looks like one organic piece, and this is a repeating leaf stencil. So perhaps one of these. The first thing I need to do, however, is create some tooth on this card. I haven't decided if I'm going to use a tea bag like I have been in the past or do a collage. I'm going to get that in order and then I will be right back. Okay, so I'm going to use the second ply of a napkin I used in another project recently. I'm going to just fuzzy cut out a section of it and go ahead and get that down. When I say fuzzy cut, what I mean is that I'm using a wet paintbrush with some water on it. And if you draw on the tissue, it creates a place that you can tear very easily. Like you're just so fuzzy because the edges are fuzzy. And because I did tear it like that, the edges of this napkin will disappear and you won't really see them. And to glue it down, I am going to use some matte gel medium. And how are you today, friends? In my last couple of videos, I've been going on about spring, only to have received a dump of snow. I live in Canada. I live in BC, Canada. So yeah, a dump of snow. It was, you know, it's March. It's not quite spring yet, but hopes were high. But no, we didn't have to shovel too much of it. It basically has melted in the last couple of days. So hopefully you aren't hit by any storms and spring is blooming for you. And if not, then I hope it happens for us both soon. Yeah. So obviously the napkin is showing up some of the orange and pink polka dots from the top layer of the napkin I used. So this is the second layer. The third layer would probably won't have the dots. But the second layer, this is obviously the second layer. It obviously does. So I'm going to get this dry. All right, this is feeling dry. My next step that I want to do will be some scribble journaling. Isn't that a fun feather quill pen? It's a dip pen. And for the ink, I'm going to reach for this dark green acrylic ink. I've shaken it up so there's bubbles. And I'm going to dip it. A couple of videos ago, I put the ink in this palette and it wasn't deep enough to actually dip, so it was more difficult to write. So I've learned my lesson. I don't have any ink wells, so I'm just dipping straight into the ink itself. I wonder where I can find ink wells, you know, to put some into an ink well. But I feel that would be a waste of ink too, because I'm not using a heck of a lot to do my scribble journaling here. So scribble journaling, what am I thinking of today? I'm going to go clean this nib and I'll be right back. Okay, that looks like that's dry. I want to push all of this further back now because I want to start building more layers. I want to decide which stencil to use. I think I'm drawn to this one. All right, so I have to decide between gesso or acrylic paint. And I've chosen gesso. I'm going to put some in my palette. I'm going to try using a blending tool for this. Paint it is. Oh my goodness, let's see. It's a very thirsty sponge. And then much better. Okay. More paint. Wow, isn't that a mess? I don't really see the pattern, but I do see that there's white space. Now, okay, this is dry. I can see some of the pattern from the leaves, but I think I'm going to also spray. That's what I get for not using these in too long. It looks like the mechanism is all gunged up. Yeah, okay, we'll try the pink. We'll go through them and see if any of them work. Well, what do you know? The pink one works. All right. So here's the spray and the pattern. I need to... I'm not getting my pattern, but I like the colors, so... Nice. And I'll see if the blue works. Okay. Obviously, I need to either retire these or fix them. The red, oh my goodness. Yeah. And we tried the yellow, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, with all of that, I am going to get this dry. I do want to do the pattern. I'm deciding between the chevron's a really nice rhinestone. The chevron's a nice strong pattern. If I do it this way and then backwards, I think I want to do this in either, what color do I want to put this on with? What am I thinking about neon yellow? I like that. Let's try that. We're going to put this in the palette, and then I will use a paintbrush. I guess I'm going to do the chevron. I kind of like that pattern. So just take a paintbrush and, oh, this might not be dark enough. Well, we're going to try. This might be too translucent. We'll give it a go and see what happens. Well, That's something. Do it again. Well, it added yellow, but still no pattern. The paint was too translucent, so I'm going to put this aside and get this layer dry. So, I still need my pattern. I still have like sprays that might work more better than my acrylic sprays. It's just, ooh, that's a lot of strength of color. So I think I want black, and yeah, I'm going to use black in a couple of spots. First, let's see, does this work? Maybe double it up. Clean the nozzle and, oh gosh, okay. It works just fine. All right, let me just, might need a new paper towel here. Nice. Okay, I'm going to go wash up a little bit and I'll be right back. I'm going to add some black splats, 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 splats. And get that dry again. So I definitely feel I need some white space. I'm going to pour some acrylic paint of white on my palette, and then I'm going to emulate what Hope did with her initial announcement for this week's prompts. She did some finger dabbing, which I think is absolutely beautiful. So I'm just going to do some of that as well. But I'm not going to do it over my whole card like Hope did.
I'm liking that. All right.
Okay, so everything's dry. It looks great. I want to do, I want to take my black Bic Velocity pen in 1.6 and just Hope did this on her card and I thought it was fabulous. So lovely. I really like how this is coming together. And I've changed my mind. I want these black, so I'm going to get some black here on my palette and just paint them in black instead of white. I'm going to try using Jelly Roll, this neon yellow Jelly Roll, and I'm really liking how this is turning out. I think I'm going to use the orientation this way, and I'm going to reach for some threads and see what I can do with them, and some lace. I like what I have going on here. I want to add a sentiment, and I'm going to use my Dymo to create it. I think this one. If I trim the top and bottom, I think that'll work out great. So let me just, I'll put extra. I'll use this Fast Grab Aleene's tacky glue and get all this down. Nice. I really like how this is turning out. I love my little sentiment clusters. They're always so fun. And I'm going to add, and maybe it needs 1, 2, 3, 2. Where else is it a little uneven? Maybe here. Okay, so this looks like it's going to be the end of this project today. I love, love, love all of this. Everything is my jam. Really enjoyed how it came together. This is Hope's week 18. It included an alcohol spray, some hand carved stamps, and a pattern. And I think I fulfilled all of those with this card. And I think it's really pretty. I love the colors. I like how it came together. The sentiment cluster is super cute. And the word for the day is succumb. To yield, to give in. And yeah, that's about how I'm feeling at the moment. And beautiful. I really love how it turned out. My thanks to Hope at Crafty Hope for giving us some great prompts to work with every week. I'll have links to her channel and information listed in the description box below. I highly encourage you to go have a look at what she's doing over there. And that looks like that's it for me in this project. I'd like to thank you for watching. I encourage you, please hit the like button if you did like what you saw. Subscribe to my channel. I'll have more projects coming soon. And don't forget, I do have an Etsy shop. The link will be listed in the description box below as well. And until my next video, bye-bye.